just before I turned 50, I had the heart surgery. That's when I kind of afterwards kind of came out of it and I said, or just pay attention when you breathe, when you exercise.
At 78, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the man who built an entire career on being larger than life. And yet, when you see what he's going through now, it'll stop you in your tracks, because nobody ever imagines their heroes aging, let alone facing the kind of struggles that would leave your jaw literally on the floor.
As I say to people, it's one thing to see yourself get older and more out of shape, but most of the people really never have been in shape.
So here's my friendly warning. Sit tight. Don't blink. And please, watch this till the very last second. By the time we're done, you're going to see Arnold as a man who reminds us how fragile, inspiring, and painfully real life can be. What happened to Arnold Schwarzenegger? At 78. Arnold Schwarzenegger's 78th birthday stirred up a mix of emotions, sparking both admiration and unexpected worry among fans who have followed his legendary journey for decades. As he reached this milestone on July 30th, the world could not help but watch closely. Because, let's be honest, how many people at that age still keep the same fiery passion for fitness that Arnold does? While most celebrities his age might choose to throw a glamorous party or take a quiet retreat, Arnold remained true to himself, celebrating in the most Arnold way possible, through movement, discipline, and the lifestyle that made him iconic. Instead of a red carpet or a champagne toast, he was seen riding his e-bike from Santa Monica to the iconic Gold's Gym, joined by his longtime friend and fellow actor, Ralph Moeller. For Arnold, this wasn't just a birthday. It was another day to keep his body active and his mind sharp. He even shared a light-hearted video on Instagram, telling fans that his plans included cycling, lifting weights, enjoying good food, and simply appreciating life. Interestingly, he admitted that turning 78 didn't feel as thrilling as hitting 75 or anticipating 80, which he playfully called spicier milestones. Doesn't that show how he still frames life with a sense of humor and perspective, even as the years go by? Yet, despite his upbeat attitude, many fans couldn't help but voice concern. Why was that? Well, the video clips and photos that circulated online painted a very different picture of the action star people were used to. Arnold appeared with noticeably longer hair, a bushy gray beard, and a slower walk, flanked by bodyguards, a look that some fans felt made him seem frail and older than expected. Social media, as it often does, lit up with comments. Some wrote that it was hard to look at, while others wondered if he was doing okay health-wise. Even his daughter Catherine's heartfelt birthday post stirred mixed feelings, as fans shifted focus from her touching tribute to discussions about how much Arnold had physically changed. It raised a bigger question. Do people sometimes forget that even their heroes are human, and aging is something no one escapes? But the mystery did not last long. It turned out Arnold's transformation wasn't due to declining health at all. It was for work. The world soon learned that the beard, the longer hair, and the softer look were part of his preparation for a brand new role. Yes, Arnold was stepping into a very different kind of character, Santa Claus. He revealed the news himself, posting a festive picture dressed in a bright red coat, cozy scarf, and Christmas sweater, standing proudly alongside co-star Alan Ritchson. With a playful caption reading, "Santa Claus is coming to town," Arnold cleared the air, reminding everyone that he was not slowing down, but simply evolving into yet another unforgettable role. This wasn't just any project either. It was for Amazon MGM Studios' upcoming holiday film, The Man with the Bag, where Santa teams up with a reformed thief from his naughty list to retrieve his stolen magic bag. Doesn't that sound like the perfect mix of holiday magic and Arnold's signature action twist? Fans quickly shifted from worry to excitement, relieved that their favorite star wasn't frail, but simply immersed in his craft once again. What made this even more significant was that it marked Arnold's long-awaited return to holiday films, his first since the beloved 1996 classic Jingle All the Way, and also his first major feature since 2019's Terminator: Dark Fate. For a man who has reinvented himself countless times, from world champion bodybuilder to Hollywood superstar to California governor and now back to acting, it almost felt poetic. Here was Arnold, at 78, still finding new ways to surprise audiences, still staying relevant, and still reminding people that life doesn't stop when the candles on your birthday cake grow in number. And the way this particular transformation came about is something that will make you stop and think, so stay with us, because the real story behind this comeback is even more fascinating than you might imagine. The real story behind the transformation. Behind the physical transformation that caught so many fans off guard lies a health journey that has stretched across decades and tested Arnold Schwarzenegger in ways few could imagine. The Austrian-born icon, who once stood as the very symbol of strength and invincibility, has quietly faced medical challenges that reshaped not only his body, but also his entire outlook on fitness, nutrition, and life itself. One might ask, how does a man who once built his name and career on pushing his body to its absolute limit come to terms with the frailties of human health? The answer is found in his resilience, his willingness to adapt, and his unshakable determination to keep moving forward. Arnold's story is deeply tied to his heart, literally. He was born with a bicuspid aortic valve defect, the same condition that claimed the lives of his mother and grandmother. For decades, his heart condition has forced him into repeated confrontations with mortality. Dating back to the 1990s, he has undergone multiple open-heart surgeries, each one leaving not just scars on his body, but also reminders that even legends are not immune to the struggles of ordinary men. Most recently, doctors discovered that scar tissue from those earlier procedures had caused an irregular heartbeat, and he was fitted with a pacemaker. The operation, surprisingly, was completed in a single day, and Arnold, in typical fashion, was already eager to get back on his feet and resume his routine, albeit in a modified form. But doesn't it make you wonder how many people at 78 would have that same drive to get moving again so quickly after such a major procedure? His approach to training today is nothing like the marathon bodybuilding sessions that made him a household name. Gone are the 5-hour days in the gym. Instead, Arnold now spends about 90 minutes daily focusing on cycling and lighter weight training. He openly admits, "I don't train heavy anymore. Too many heart surgeries." That kind of honesty may sound unusual for a man who once prided himself on pushing beyond human limits, but it shows the wisdom that comes with age. He follows the mantra, "If you rest, you rust," which captures his philosophy perfectly. Movement is life, and no matter how old or fragile the body becomes, exercise must remain a non-negotiable part of living. Isn't that a lesson everyone could use, no matter their age or stage in life? Perhaps the most dramatic transformation has come not from the gym, but from the kitchen. For a man once known for his meat-heavy bodybuilding diet, Schwarzenegger's nutrition has undergone a near revolution. He has cut down his meat consumption by around 80%. He explains that while he isn't fully vegan, he has consciously reduced meat and embraced a more plant-forward diet. The results, by his own admission, have been nothing short of remarkable. His cholesterol dropped so significantly that his doctor suspected there had been a mix-up with the lab results. Eggs, salmon, chicken, lentils, beans, veggie burgers, and pea protein supplements now fuel his body. For someone who once believed endless steaks and protein shakes were the only way to build strength, such a shift is extraordinary. But then again, doesn't change often come when life forces us to see things differently? Aging has also reshaped Arnold's priorities in ways that go beyond diet and exercise. He has always been brutally candid about what it feels like to grow old, even joking with a touch of sadness that when he looks in the mirror now, he no longer sees the best-built man, but instead a reflection of age creeping in. "It's terrible," he confessed, but beneath those words lies an acceptance and a new purpose. Rather than chasing the perfect physique, his focus today is on longevity, mobility, and heart health. It is no longer about proving something to the world. It is about ensuring that he can enjoy a high quality of life for as long as possible. But as much as health and fitness have reshaped his path, there's another side to Arnold's journey that's even more powerful, one that tugs at the heart in ways no gym story ever could. Because when you look beyond the muscles and the spotlight, you discover the man who wrestles with questions of family, legacy, and deeply emotional moments that will surprise you. Trust me, you'll want to stay right here and watch closely till the very end. Because what comes next reveals a side of Arnold Schwarzenegger that most people have never truly seen. Family, legacy, and emotional moments. Arnold Schwarzenegger's story has always fascinated people, not just because of his incredible career in bodybuilding, acting, and politics, but also because of the way he wears his personal life with such honesty. Beyond his own fitness journey, which is already inspiring on its own, his greatest pride now seems to lie in the transformations of his children. After all, what could be more fulfilling for a man who has spent his life breaking limits than watching his children push past their own struggles? It is in these very moments of family triumph and personal growth that Arnold's public life has offered some of its most touching stories. Take Christopher Schwarzenegger, for instance. At 27, Christopher has gone through a remarkable weight loss journey that has left many people both surprised and deeply inspired. He admitted that his turning point came back in 2019 when he was living in Australia. He realized that his weight was holding him back from doing the most ordinary activities, things that most people wouldn't even think twice about. Doesn't it make one wonder how many of us live with silent battles every single day without even realizing how much they affect us? Christopher spoke about insecurities that dated back to high school, about bringing what he described as weird lunches while attempting one diet after another. And yet, what seemed like a small decision at first, giving up bread for Lent, changed everything. That simple act led him to shed 30 pounds, and he did it with a sense of faith and discipline, saying with quiet humor, "I'm a good Catholic boy, so I'm not going to break it." Isn't it fascinating how sometimes the smallest commitments end up sparking the biggest changes? On the other hand, Joseph Baina's story runs parallel, but with its own unique struggles. Joseph grew up facing the weight of comparisons, not just with his father, but also with his peers. He once shared how he was cut from both his basketball and soccer teams because he simply couldn't keep up with the other kids. Imagine the sting of that kind of rejection, especially for a teenager. It was through swimming that he found his gateway into fitness, and it completely reshaped his life. He opened up about being bullied for his weight, describing it as a big struggle. And it is no wonder that those words resonated with so many. After all, how many people out there have felt too slow, too heavy, or simply not enough for the world's standards? Joseph's transformation into a bodybuilder is not just about muscles or aesthetics. It is a testimony to resilience, a living reminder that discipline can turn wounds into power. Arnold himself has never been shy about reflecting on the role of fatherhood, often with stories that sound both strict and oddly humorous. He has admitted to using unconventional methods to teach his children responsibility. For instance, when his daughter Catherine repeatedly left her shoes out, he burned them as a lesson. And when his son Patrick refused to make his bed, Arnold didn't just scold him. He threw the mattress off the balcony. Some would call that harsh. Others would call it old-school discipline. But Arnold himself explained it plainly. For American standards, I was probably strict. It makes one pause and wonder, doesn't it? Where is the line between being too strict and being just strict enough to prepare your children for real life? Now, at 76, Arnold's reflections have shifted toward aging and how he views himself in the mirror. He has admitted with striking candor, "I look in a mirror and say, 'Yep, you suck.'" There is a disarming honesty in those words, one that strikes a chord with fans across generations. He speaks openly about how his once firm and powerful body has changed over time. Look at this body. Look at the pectoral muscles that used to be firm and perky and powerful. Now they're just hanging there. Some might find that heartbreaking, but others find it deeply comforting. After all, isn't it reassuring to know that even icons who seemed invincible face the same realities of time as the rest of us? Still, Arnold refuses to be defeated by it. Despite acknowledging the changes, he insists, "I'm full of energy, full of enthusiasm." And maybe that is the true lesson. Life is not about clinging to what was, but about embracing what still can be. And the message he shares here is so powerful, so personal, that it deserves to be heard in full. So stay right here, and don't even think of clicking away, because what comes next is something you won't want to miss, till the very last word. The message Arnold wants everyone to hear. At the heart of Arnold Schwarzenegger's philosophy on life is a message so simple, yet so powerful, that it continues to echo around the world even as he reaches the age of 78. For him, health and movement are not just personal choices, but responsibilities he feels toward himself and toward the millions who look up to him. After all, what use is all the fame, all the success, and all the achievements if one cannot enjoy them in good health? Arnold seems to believe that the real legacy a person leaves behind is not only in the movies they starred in or the titles they won, but in how they inspire others to take better care of themselves. Is that not the truest measure of influence, when one's life choices push others to live better? One of the most striking aspects of Arnold's lifestyle is his unwavering daily routine, which he treats almost like medicine. For him, movement is more than a habit. It is the cure, the prevention, and the anchor that keeps him strong. Every day, when in Los Angeles, he hops on his bike and pedals through the streets before heading to the gym for a 45-minute session. And even when that is done, he doesn't simply sit back and let the rest of the day pass in inactivity. He reminds himself that even a solid workout is wasted if the hours that follow are spent being still. How many times have we all been guilty of doing something similar? Working out for a bit, and then staying glued to a chair the rest of the day? Arnold avoids that trap by ensuring he takes enough steps and stays active throughout. Interestingly, after undergoing heart surgeries, he made the conscious decision to switch to lighter weights with more repetitions. Some might see that as slowing down, but he proves that adaptability is not weakness. It is wisdom. Is it not a powerful reminder that we don't have to quit when life forces us to change? We just have to adjust? Arnold's vision extends far beyond his own routine. Earlier this year, he partnered with Zimmer Biomet as Chief Movement Officer for their You'll Be Back campaign. A clever nod to his famous line, but with a deeper purpose. The campaign encourages individuals suffering from joint pain to share their struggles and connect with qualified physicians. For Arnold, this was not just another endorsement deal. It was a way to directly impact the nearly 27 million Americans over 65 who are affected by osteoarthritis. What better way to use his platform than to encourage people not to give up, not to surrender to pain, but to fight for their mobility? Through this initiative, he is showing that the road to recovery is not about magical shortcuts, but about seeking help, staying informed, and refusing to let pain dictate life. Perhaps the most telling part of Arnold's philosophy can be found in his famous mantra, "If you rest, you rust." For him, aging is not about slowing down. It's about refusing to let the years dictate what one can or cannot do. He has often said that stopping movement is the first step toward death, a statement that may sound extreme but carries undeniable truth. After all, how many people have you seen who gave up too soon, who accepted limitations without even trying to push back? Arnold insists that joint problems, age, or setbacks should not be excuses to stop. Instead, they should be challenges to overcome. With this, we have come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do well to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. To enjoy more thrilling stories, click now on the following video that pops up on your screen.